Welcome to Wubby Gaming, the place where gamers grow. Today's video is going to answer one question. Should I buy Minos? Assuming you can actually buy him. So where you see Hacksmith is normally where he normally lives, but apparently Minos stopped appearing in the shop since yesterday, but I'm sure there will be some other offers that come up in the future where you can buy Minos. And if it does come back, is he worth investing compared to the monsters that we have in the game right now? Let's see how it goes here. Again, 150s. So he's pretty much unstoppable. I haven't really come across any counters to him in PvP. Double Megaton with a monster that is strong enough as an attacker is quite hard to get past. If it's a weak attacker or someone that relies on extra turns, maybe someone more like a Wingsu, then maybe you can't get through. But because Minos just one-shots all the tanks, it's pretty safe. Crycrawl also helps quite a bit with his freeze. Okay, 150s again. So you do see it's sort of at the top. This is quite common to have a Shelly plus Anticipation. And Vampire is actually quite common up here too. Lone Survivor. I find 2 strength and 1 speed works well just because the damage that I do is enough already to take out Megatons, and the 1 speed makes it so that a lot of the time they have enough life over for you to do a second attack, which triggers Unrelenting Assault. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button to enter giveaways, grow in Monsterwood gems, legendary wars, Titan dungeons, and race monsters. When it comes to Titan dungeon, it's all about survivability. So does he have the relics and skill set to survive in Titan dungeons? This Minos is on Vito's account and he is rank 5. Looking at his relic slots, he does have a sword relic, which makes Cane Sword available, and Cane Sword does trigger into Titan Dungeon. And he also has an armor slot. So armor slot is also good because you can put something like a Nobertus armor to heal your health, or you can also just put something that's going to help you tank with pure armor. On top of that, there's also the obscure talent. So you can put the talent that gives you 30% shield as well, Bark Hide. So that's also helpful. So all of these will help Minos survive. Looking at his skill set, he does have 2 skills, Waterproof Ally and Boiling Water. Both of these help him survive. Boiling Water especially is quite helpful because it gives you a hydrophobic shield. And if the Titan does not do water damage, then this is actually going to protect you a lot. It has a 2-turn cooldown, so you can cycle this every 2 turns. The other skill it has is Waterproof Ally. So Waterproof Ally has a damage protection of 50%. So again, this is going to help you survive. And you can basically alternate between Boiling Water and Waterproof Ally. On one turn, you're most likely going to be immune. And on the second turn, you're most likely going to have 50% less damage. So the only thing that's going to drain your life from Minos is torches, and that 50% from every second attack. So overall, he's going to be quite tanky for Titan Dungeon. And for that reason, I've given him a 7 out of 10. When it comes to Team Wars, we need to consider how useful he is going to be on defense, how competitive the books are, and also how he's going to go in attack. So I'm on Vito's account because I want to do an attack with Minos. So let's check out his base. Oh, that's a funny looking base. Make sure our Minos gets an attack in. So what's the turn order look like? 23.5. Wow. Minos is super fast, isn't he? Okay. So we can take out this number 1 base. There isn't anyone here that's going to stop us. There is a Hardy with Anticipation, but what's Hardy going to do? He's a 150 and we'll be able to one-shot him. And Torpalina blocks all damage except for fire. And because Hardy is the one that's going to attack us, we're not too worried. There's no fire damage here, so no one actually here can kill us. So we can just start whacking away with Minos. So let's fight. Torpalino blocks fire. Alright, so we have a shield and then we can just kill everyone. Moderate fire to all. This is good. We'll kill everyone and get an extra turn. We will trigger Anticipation. Oh, we have Torpalino. Oh, he did space time. Don't know what to do with him now. Monster can't receive damage from attack. So I guess I have to recharge. And I guess I freeze here. We'll just recharge over. and we'll whack him. All right, there's a whack. So easy win. Looking at the books, Minos is in Mechanical, Underworld, Villains, and Fire. Starting off with Mechanical, the other Corrupted Era monster is Igoribuki. Igoribuki is the support, but he is quite useful. There's also some other strong monsters here. There's Vanos 2099, there's Steamwrath. Both of these actually do have their uses. Vanos has Pierce, which Minos doesn't, and Steamwrath has basically unlimited extra turns, which Minos also doesn't have. So Mechanical is actually quite a competitive book for Minos. Looking at Underworld, the only other corrupted monster is Dark Ur. Dark Ur is also an attacker. I would definitely rate Minos above Dark Ur. However, there's also a Tobora, and you could have a Team Speed Officius or a Team Speed Rodden as well. So not as competitive. So Minos does stand out in Underworld. There is Tobora, however, and Tobora is still going to be used quite a bit because we're still quite early on in the era. It's a reasonably competitive book, but Minos does stand out as an attacker here. In Villains, it's similar to Underworld. There is a Lindworm, which is quite useful. There's also Hardy and Rusalka. Rusalka has Pierce and Hardy has Anticipation. The different types of attackers. And we also have both Bombarda and Lord Platypus as Team Speed holders. Similar to Underworld, there are other options, but in terms of all-out attacking, Minos does shine here. Over in Fire, there's Sensei Pandakin. Minos is definitely a cut above Sensei Pandakin. There's also the Do, which is useful because you do want to trait disable at times, so not as competitive as the other books, so Minos does shine in Fire. Overall, I have given Minos a 9 out of 10 for Team Wars, and that's for two main reasons. As an all-out attacker, he's going to be super strong, but what makes him shine and takes him from say an 8 to a 9 is because he's actually very versatile. He has hydrophobic shield, so he can actually protect himself in a lot of wars. And looking at the other strong monsters, there's very few monsters, if any, that actually have water attack. So he's going to give you a lot of options and flexibilities when you are attacked. For PvP, if you are using Minos, he's going to be your all-out attacker. And combined with Unrelenting Assault, you'll see how strong he is in the PvP attacks. Keeping in mind, I am using a 150 Minos, and so that's a little bit unfair, and it's not a like-for-like comparison with, say, a 130 Wingsu. So we do have to take that into account. All right, let's check out Minos in attack. So we are in the 200s at the moment, and this thing, you can really just auto with it. So let's see how we go on some autos, and it's just going to be Minos carrying completely. But let's see. This is a 150 Minos though. Everyone just gets one shot. And if they don't get one shot, we get another turn. Actually insane. The laser beam sword sort of acts like a third strength rune, and the armor doesn't really matter. You can put any armor here really. So Nabotis is actually quite useful in case you do run out of stamina and you do get hit for some reason. But you could also replace this with Morph's armor or Iguanosaur's armor. Looking at his traits, it is an evolving trait, Hardened, Tough, and then Bulwark. So Bulwark makes all status effect having 50% less accuracy, which actually helps us quite a bit. For his shield, he has a couple of options. This option that I've got equipped is just a full-out attacking option. So I've got a 0 cooldown, 0 attack move, just in case I do get CD'd. So Hit Axe actually gets used quite a lot. Forest Assault is useful because it removes a shield and does massive fire damage. Also has a low cooldown, just 1 turn cooldown. Warbreaker is useful when there's lots of enemies with shields, but you probably won't use this too much for the shield breaker. It's more for the moderate fire damage to all enemies. And Raging Fire is a little bit similar, except it doesn't have the shield, but does apply burn instead. If you want it to be a bit tankier, you can use Waterproof Ally, but you really don't need it. Again, Boiling Water is a little bit the same. If you need more defense, then Boiling Water could work. Where I see this coming into effect is more on Team Wars, so we'll try a Team War attack and see what we need to do. Low Judge, Low Fire, you don't want to use that, and Corrupted Labyrinth, you don't want to use that. It's a moderate fire to 1, but we already have a moderate fire to 1 with Ignite. These two skills, Waterproof Ally and Boiling Water, will be used more defensively, just to save yourself from something like a Soul Drag, because I don't think Soul Drag should go through the Hydrophobic Shield. So because we don't really rely on extra turns, even though they have Hardy with Anticipation, it shouldn't really make a difference. We can do AoE here. Stamina's a bit of a problem. Oh, but we have 0 cooldown. Sorry, we have 0 stamina attack, so it's not that much of a problem. So these are all pretty good teams, and Minos will just smash through them on auto. A lot of this has to do with him being rank 150 though. Not rank 150, level 150 and rank 5. And Shelly and Crycrawler are just here to tank damage and stop them from getting to Minos. That's ideally what you want Minos to do. An area attack, so that he can get an extra turn. Considering he has massive attack and he has 2 AoE attacks, which will really help you trigger Unrelenting Assault, I have given him a solid 7.5 out of 10. What does hold him back a little bit is the attacks are quite one-dimensional. There's only one skill that does burn, which is extra damage, and the other attacks are just flat-out attacks. So if he had extra bonuses like denies or more torches, that would raise him higher up in my PvP rating. Overall, once we consider PvP, Titan Dungeon and Team Wars, he's come out quite highly ranked at 7.8. This was actually a bit higher than I was expecting coming in when I was making this video. So 7.8 is going to be right up there, and it's going to actually be one of the top monsters. However, he is behind a paywall. So we go back to our very first question of, is it worth buying Minos? You can see from the video and the footage that he is quite a strong monster. So this is going to come down to a personal type decision. One reason why you might want to buy Minos is because you're a collector and you just want to collect auto monsters, but he is behind a paywall and he's going to have friends behind a paywall. So if you want to collect all of them, this is going to cost you every single season. But if you really do want to catch them all, you got to weigh up the pros and cons between having a really strong attacker, quite good compared to his friends at the moment, versus is it better to save that money for something else like a Golden Legends pass. Jumping back into my account, you can see I don't have Minos. I decided not to invest in him because I would rather spend that $30 on a Golden Legends pass. Yes, he is a strong monster, but there's always going to be more and more strong monsters. And I don't like the fact that he is completely behind a paywall and there's no other ways of getting him right now, such as getting him from gems or from an event. So that's my own personal thought process, but I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. It really comes down to your own personal decision and whether or not you do want a strong attacker like Minos in your collection. So that's my thoughts. 7.8 out of 10, very strong monster, but behind a paywall, and I feel that Legends Pass is a better investment. Let me know what you think. If Minos does come back, would you consider purchasing him, or do you feel like it's better to invest in something else like Legends Pass or the exclusive Legends Pass to get the Igoribuki equivalent for the next season? Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out one of these 2 videos over here, and if you think Wubby Gaming videos will help one of your friends grow, make sure to share with them as well. And I will see you next time.